Gentlemen, welcome. I'd like to call to order the City of Homestead City Council meeting January 19th, 2010 at 7 o'clock on the button. And we would like to have the invocation will be done by Pastor Bill Long from the South Dade Baptist Church. And the invocation, we give the Pledge of Allegiance will be given by Police Explorers and Councilman Elvis Maldonado. Will you help me out on that? Okay. Can we move forward with that?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a privilege that I have to be able to represent all of you here this evening in the presence of God to ask His blessing upon this meeting. Scriptures make it very clear that we have a mandate to do something like this. I exhort, therefore, that first of all, the prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men, kings, presidents, all that are in authority. And here's the purpose, that we may lead a quiet, peaceable life in godliness and honesty. So when we're here tonight, this little formal activity that we do has huge implications. It decides the peacefulness, the godliness, and the honesty of our council members and our citizens. You see, God is the center of both. The invocation is part of the citizenry to call upon God to meet the councilmen where they are at. They, in turn, call upon God to give them wisdom as to what they are to do. It's a very special time. It's not one to be taken lightly. So in a moment, here, let's bow our heads and ask God that, Father, as this meeting takes place this evening, and there'll be many decisions that are going to be made and discussed that are going to affect the way we all live. None of us, Father, have omniscience. And so we depend upon you, the one that already knows the end from the beginning, to guide thoughts, questions, decisions, and discussions, all of these things brought together, so that in the end and in the conclusion of the matter, we will be able to lead peaceable lives, exercise godliness in the freedoms that we have in a religious faith, that your citizens here on this earth will be able to live peaceably with one another. So we ask, Lord, that your presence would be known by your Holy Spirit here in this room this evening. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Forward, march. Left wheel, march. On the guard, halt. President, on.
Please join me as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, on. Right face. Forward, march.
Please be seated. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Bateman?
Here.
Vice Mayor Waldman? Here. Councilman Burgess? Councilwoman Lobos? Here. Councilman Maldonado?
Here.
Councilman Shelley?
Here.
Councilman Williams?
Here. Thank you. We're going to move to the public comment part of our agenda. Public comments will be held to 3 minutes per item. So please come forward now if you have a public comment.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilman, and women. My name is Karen Gerard, and I'm your local immigration attorney here in Homestead, Florida. I need to give an update to the public regarding the status of what's going on with our community, with the Haitian population, and the earthquake and the tragedies that has befallen them. The federal government had issued a temporary protected status order, which everybody knows about. The reason I'm here tonight is to let the community know that they need to be very careful when they're dealing with people that may assist them in these filings. They have to be careful because, as we know in our community, when there's tragedy, there is also sometimes advantages being taken against our people that need help the most. So what I'm here tonight to tell you is that if you have family members or if you have friends, if you have business owners that have members of their family who need to apply for this protected status, they need to seek legal counsel or they need to have somebody who knows how to advise them, because there are serious implications for the individuals that go to people who are not knowledgeable. These ratifications are far-reaching, and they are sometimes black and white letters of the immigration law. So I'm here tonight to advise and to alert the community to take this back to everybody that you know that might go to your local consultant or their local notarial or paralegal that we know exists here in our hometown, and please advise them to get legal counsel. It is the most, biggest crime that you take somebody who's vulnerable and in pain and trusts you and gives you not only their money but also their future in their hands, and somebody takes that and then you go there the next day and their office is closed and there's no recourse. So for our community, for the people that need us most right now, please, I urge you to go to somebody that has a license. Thank you.
I need to understand exactly what you're saying. I know you're on the top now, but if you can give me the information and point me in the right direction, because that's what I've been here for. And we're being run over. My family and members in this community.
Okay, real quickly, just for general public information, anybody can go to www.uscis.gov. That is the federal government website. There are information there in the Creole language as well as the French language, which specifically can give you the basic information for the temporary protected status. They have suspended deportations as well. You can go to a private attorney. There are several of us in Homestead. I'm probably, the most involved in the community. I kind of get out and try to stop this because I have seen what it can do to families. So you can go to that website. I know that Catholic Charities have some assistance, and my office is in town, and I'm on the web. So if you need further information, I can help you after the meeting. Thank you.
And for the record, Karen has been very helpful. We've had a series of 3 meetings here at City Hall. The Homestead, Florida City Haitian Relief Committee we put together, and Karen has brought some very valuable resources to the table, and I thank you for that, Karen.
Thank you. And in a more lighter note, there is a benefit at Schnebly's this Saturday, and it's a very low entrance fee of $20. It is on the Schnebly Winery website, and it's going to be music and fun. And all the proceeds do go to benefit, hopefully all of the benefits that are happening now, the proceeds go to those who need them most. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. Thank you, Council and members of Homestead, for this opportunity to share our event venue with you. My name is Kim Sizemore. I'm representing Faith Fellowship School. We're a special needs school here in the Redlands. We're located on the corner of Redland Road and Biscayne. We are hosting a benefit for the school, a basketball expo, where the Homestead locals, including 2 of your own council, Mr. Elvis Maldonado and Mr. Steve Shelley, will be playing with us, as well as Mr. Antral Roll and Pete Johnson, just to name a few. We'll be playing against the Harlem Ambassadors. The event is February 21st. That's a Sunday evening at South Dade High School at 6 p.m. We're calling on the city for your support for sponsorship, for ticket sales, players. We're still looking for some players, and just your attendance in general. All the benefits for this event will go to special needs students at our school. So Did I forget anything? We have information that will be at the door about the game, so you can look for it around town. There'll be posters, flyers, and we'll leave some here as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, John. Next.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Mayor Bateman and staff. Good evening.
Welcome.
Okay. My name is John. I'm virtually homeless.
John.
Okay.
Name, address.
My name is John Miller, and I am virtually homeless. Okay. I am a disabled veteran. Right now, I would like to follow behind Pastor Billy Long, okay, to show all of us, especially our youngins, our kids, our children, that believe in God and just learn, okay? Our president, Barack Obama, has asked us all, he's asking us, are we forsaken? Okay, and the answer is no. However, I would like to read to you first small verses. I know I have 3 minutes, okay? Starting off with Genesis chapter 8, verse 21. And y'all got to start reading your whole story, and then you can go to the verses also. Okay, here we go. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground, excuse me, anymore for man's sake. For imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite anymore everything living as I have done. Now, I looked up the word forsaken. Okay, so that way I wasn't confused, because knowledge is the key, all right? And it's the key to life. Okay, well, we'll go back to forsaken in a second. Now I'm going to read Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 1, verses 2 and 5. 685. Here we go right here. All right, so we are not forsaken. The Lord has made a covenant with us. Okay? Now, it says, this is from King Solomon. He was a wise king, the son of David, King David. All right? It says, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. How you doing? A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. So all of our concerns,
John,
everything that's on our mind, we need to bring it to the senior staff's attention. Right now, my main concern is Haiti, our highest priority.
John, let's wrap it up.
Please, excuse me for 1 second. It has to be known. Haiti is the world's highest priority. We have the military from other countries in our city doing our business, and I love it. However, I want in to better my business, to help my family, my future wife's generations are there in Haiti, the bulk of them. Okay? Right now, the priority, I serve under General
John.
Okay?
John.
For the 2nd Infantry Division.
John.
Okay?
John.
What we need to do is to
John.
sanitation and extraction.
John.
And we need to get
Hello.
power.
Steve to John.
Okay? Please excuse me.
John, your time's up. Come on. No, John, we talked this evening about following the rules. You promised me you would follow the rules.
Okay, so I'll wait my turn, however.
That's all you have to do. Wait your turn.
Address it.
It's okay.
Appreciate your patience.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, any other public comment? Now's the time to bring public comment before the council. If there is no further public comment, let's move on in the agenda. Item 4, additions, deletions, deferrals. City Manager?
Mr. Mayor, at this point, a motion to add the resolution on the settlement agreement. It would be added as item 7C, which we would consider later in the agenda. So we need a motion to add that to the
Motion
agenda.
to add the...
So moved, Mayor.
Thank you. Second? All in favor?
We got to see it. What are they talking about? These are the things that are being ran over our heads,
John?
just like the money.
John?
Mixed with the petroleum, the money, we need to understand what's going on. You all cannot vote.
John?
Okay, but before you all vote, we need to see it on the screen.
John, what's up in front of you right there? Come on now, we talked about abiding by the rules. We sat down and talked before this.
We have to break all traditional yokes, okay? We need to say, hey, and the way we do it, we need to understand clearly what the business is going on here now.
John,
so we can help.
John, you're out of order. Come on now. We talked, you agreed, and you've gone too far.
I don't want to go out and say it, and I'll behave myself, but I'm going to ask questions.
But John, John, I'm going to tell you, if there's an outburst again, you're going to leave. Okay?
Well, I'll raise my hand. Just
No, you don't raise your hand. We have a procedure here. You went to the podium, you have your 3 minutes, you said, which was very good, you said what you had on your mind.
this is the highest priority. Just remember that. And
Take a second.
we're set up in Haiti, and there's stuff that everybody wants to do. We need better change.
Was that the agenda?
I think we
We're on item 4, so.
We need to vote on that item, on adding it to the agenda.
We did. All in favor? Aye.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Nays? Ayes, carry.
That would be item 7C, Mr. Mayor.
7C. Let's deal with,
Do it late, we'll do it in the, after the other 7s. So let's move on to the special presentations at this time.
okay. Special presentations you're going to do? I'll do mine. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for the brief interruption, but things like that happen. This is a very tense time for a lot of people here and in Haiti both. I'd like to ask Major Scott Kennedy to come forward, if he would, please. I know that's why we have a standing room only crowd today. Thank you. I'd like to ask any of the co-workers that would like to come up and say a few words, please come forward. I'm inviting you now, because I know there's some of you who've spent many years working alongside of Scott. So please come forward if you'd like to comment. I have a plaque that I'd like to give you, Scott. It reads, "An appreciation to Major D. Scott Kennedy for your untiring dedication and contribution to the community above and beyond the call of duty. January 2010, Mayor, Council, City of Homestead." I hand you this plaque in appreciation for all the things that you've done for the city. And there are many things you've done for this community. 30 probably plus year employee. I can't say enough about the things that you've done for me as a resident in this community, let alone the things you've done for many other residents in this community. There's not a school I go in, or there's not a business I go in that doesn't mention Scott Kennedy. And I appreciate what you did as the mayor of this community. I appreciate what you did for this community, what you continue to do, because we have Scott as a consultant, and Scott will be helping us here in the future. It's not like he's totally gone. He's here with us because we need his expertise. And the manager was quick enough and sharp enough to retain Scott in a little different capacity. But Scott, would you like to say a few words? Chief, would you like to say something? I'll put you on the spot, Chief. Chief, what are you doing? God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor Bateman. It's kind of hard. I really didn't want to come up here because it's kind of emotional for me. Me and Major Kennedy walked in here in 1979, and it's a long time ago. And to see him leaving tonight, you know, it's really very emotional, like I said earlier, because we put a lot of time in together, not as senior management, but as patrolman, detective, sergeant, you know, captains, the whole works. In all honesty, he has been my right hand since 1998 when I became the police chief. He's done everything that I've asked of him and more. And along with he and some more of my staff members, and I'm talking about Major Kennedy tonight, we were able to take this city into another journey. What I mean by that is that we were able to address all the needs of the citizens of the Homestead, all the safety needs, security needs. And to see him leave tonight, you know, it's really, well, I could say that I'm going to miss him. I'm quite sure the city of Homestead is going to miss him for all the work he's done. The people in the Homestead love him. He's done a tremendous job with the city and the safety of the city and the Homestead. So with just saying that, I just want him to know that I appreciate everything that he did for me as the police chief here. And he's truly going to be missed, but I hope that anytime you all need him as well as myself, we can all reach out to him, and I'm quite sure he will be available for us. So again, Major Kennedy, thanks again. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate everything you did for not only me, but for the city of Homestead. Thanks so much.
Just a few words. I'll refer to you tonight as Scott, if you don't mind. Scott and I go back so many years. We started working together in 1977 at Day Correctional Institution, and it seems like he and I are just destined to be each other's side, right, sometimes. But it's emotional for me, too, because it's tough to see you go, Scott. We worked together down at the prison for 2.5, 3 years together, and both wound up by some strange means going to Georgia as police officers in different cities, but same state. Wound up coming back to the city, our hometown, and working here together since 1981. And you know, Scott, you've been a great friend, great mentor. I don't know how we're going to fill your shoes. It's going to be very tough. But to the citizens, y'all are going to be missing a great man. He was there for everybody. You know, I like to refer to him sometimes as Superman because I don't know how he stays awake. Yeah, hours that he stays awake and does the things that he does and feels the problems that he's feeling. But he's done a tremendous job. I'm trying to keep it in the 3 minutes, Mayor. I appreciate your time. But truly, just to keep it short, he's going to be missed as a personal friend and as a co-worker as well. So, Scott, thanks. Really.
Mayor, Council, City Manager, I'd like to thank you for the presentation of the award tonight. It means a lot to me. 30 years ago, I started out, I was 6'1", 153 pounds, had a full head of hair. I'm proud to announce that I'm still 6'1". I really never planned for this day. You never really can. Through the years, I've seen many people come and go. Many people have stood up here who have retired. And I've often wondered what it was going to be like standing here myself. Well, here it is, January 19th, by the way. I want to thank first and foremost God, because if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be here and wouldn't have been as successful as I am. My parents, who I lost, both of them within the last couple of years, I'd like to thank them for all their guidance and support. That I wasn't going to get emotional. To my sister, my brother, who is in the back. Of course, he may have introduced most of you as my son, but he's really not. He's actually my brother. To the rest of my family, my niece, my nephews, second nephews, family, friends, residents, I thank you for this award. To the many that took the time that could be here tonight, and to the many that could not, that I've worked with over the years, I want to tell you I'm going to miss you. Excuse me. Stop the timer a second. It's been a great ride. We've laughed together. We've cried together. We've accomplished quite a bit in 30 years. I love you guys. I'm going to miss you guys. Stop the clock again. Oh, man. Said I wasn't going to do this. Each and every morning I wake up, first thought in my mind is going to be Homestead PD in the city of Homestead. I'm honored to have worked with you, and I thank you for the support over the years. To the many citizens I've gotten to know over the years, thank you for your support. I hope in any of the problems that you've had, anytime you've come to me, I've helped you out, I've helped resolve them. And I'm hoping for the future of the department, future of the city, that you guys continue to do what you're doing for the city, because you're one awesome police department. You guys are the best. I've seen it. The citizens support you. The citizens love you. They don't have the respect for you for just because you're police officers. They have the respect because you go the extra yard. To the many department heads I've worked with over the years and fellow city employees, thank you again. Some departments I've worked more closely with over the years than others, but each of you are friends and have become friends of mine, and we've worked through issues and supported each other throughout, so I want to thank you guys for that. Really, I don't have a whole bunch else other than to say that I want to personally thank Chief Roll for working with me over the years. In 1998, he stuck his neck out for me and made me one of his administrators. It's been an awesome ride. I've learned so much from this man over the years. Whenever it looked like I was going off in left field, I could always go to the chief and he'd reel me back in. He's a great leader. I'm hoping, and I'm truly hoping, that politics doesn't play a part to where it becomes something where the chief ends up being gone, because it would be a sorrow loss to the city. Not to sound callous or anything or rude, but please, Mayor and Council, you have many, many challenges ahead of you. One sound thing that you've had over the years is the police department. Please, don't let politics play a part in it. Remain sound in the decisions you make, and let the chief of police run this police department, and I think you're going to be satisfied with, and continuously satisfied with, the public safety in this community. Richard, I can't leave you guys out. You, David, the whole team at Weiss Road, you guys have been great. Have always given us awesome legal advice over the years. I thank you. Please pass it on to everyone, especially David, who's helped me out in many issues over the years. And I think my 3 minutes is up, so I'm going to cut it short. Listen, I just can't thank, just seeing the room full is a memory in itself, the whole lifetime. I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you.
Okay. special presentations. Let's move to item B, Turkey Point expansion update. Ramon, are you here?
Yes, Mayor, good evening. Honorable Mayor and members of the council, staff, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to meet with you tonight. Ramon Ferrer, I'm External Affairs Manager for Florida Power Light Company. I'm very proud to serve this community. We're based on 9200 West Flagler in Miami-Dade County. And with me today, I have Mr. Rob Regan, who's going to get up right here, and he is our Manager of Project Development in case there are some questions for me. We're happy to be here today to share some information and provide you with an update on our Turkey Point 6 and 7 expansion project. That's what we call it, the new nuclear project. FPL is committed to continue with this project because of the many benefits that it has for the community. I'm here to tell you that the effort to move forward with the local and state and federal permits and licenses necessary for our project will be proceeding, will continue, despite of what you might have read or heard. For the benefit of the new members of the council who might not be familiar with our project, I would like to take a couple of minutes to share with you some general, very high-level information about the project. And then I would like to also extend an invitation to each and every one of you to visit our plant, take a tour of Turkey Point, and then in detail, perhaps we can answer all your questions, not only about the new project, but the existing facility on behalf of the entire community, whom unfortunately we cannot take into the plant for security reasons. So FPL, let me go back. FPL recently filed state and federal applications which propose to build 2 new nuclear units at our existing site at Turkey Point that could add up to 2,200 megawatts of clean energy to our system. That is basically the power needed to feed approximately 745,000 homes. And why are we doing this? Well, many of you might not know that during the summer peak in Miami-Dade County, the electricity that is needed in the county is brought into this area through transmission lines from generating units outside of the county. So we need the power right here where the load is for reliability purposes. So the proposed new nuclear generation, won't only address the needs of FPL, but it will help reduce the use of less efficient fuels, and it will replace less efficient fuels such as oil with clean energy like nuclear. Now, this project offers several benefits on several levels. Not only the benefits of the technology itself, nuclear energy, which is reliability, cost effectiveness, fuel diversity, zero greenhouse emissions, lower carbon footprint, but the environmental benefits also are supportive of county and agency objectives. For example, one of the concerns that the community had, the agencies had at the beginning, 2 years ago when we started this project, was where are you going to get the water to cool the plant? Well, I'm here to tell you that we are in the process of negotiating an agreement with Miami-Dade County to take reclaimed water from Miami-Dade that is now being either deep well injected into the lower aquifers or ocean outflow. So this is going to be, and Miami-Dade County has been mandated to eliminate that ocean outflow. So this is going to be a win-win situation for both FPL, the county, and for the environment and the community. We also have associated transmission improvements that will improve the overall reliability of our service in the county, and there are numerous local and regional economic benefits that will create stimulus in the local economy, and I'd like to review some of those at this point. This project, ladies and gentlemen, would stimulate the local economy by bringing direct and indirect construction spending to our county. It will generate millions of dollars in new property tax revenue, approximately $100 million, we calculate. It would also create thousands of new job opportunities during both construction and after the plant is completed. We'll expect to create about 800 professional permanent jobs, workers in full operation, 3,600 construction jobs and 800 plant permanent workers, many of which, as you know, Mayor and Council, work in the plant and live in this community, providing further financial benefits here locally. Additionally, by using nuclear, we'll have approximately $93 billion in fuel savings in the 41st years of operations of the plant. Now, it is important for us to affirm today our commitment to this project. The FPL will continue to pursue the licenses and approvals from the federal and state government that are required for obtaining the final approval and license for the plant, including key agreements and the activity necessary for permitting the project. One example of that is the agreement with Miami-Dade County that I mentioned. So is this project affected at all then, based on the decision that the Public Service Commission made last week of not granting our relief that we asked for? Yes, FPL will indefinitely suspend engineering and construction expenditures at this time, such as, for example, negotiations with vendors for supply contracts or activities related to the design of the plan and planning for construction. That Florida Public Service Commission decision has cast some significant doubt on the ability that our company has to obtain the necessary capital to construct this project cost effectively, and therefore the project will require large amounts of capital to construct. And at this time we need to take a step back and stop those expenses and go through the licensing process that we have initiated, and it will take at least 2 years to complete. Now, unfortunately, the indefinite suspension of the engineering and construction activities will also mean that there will be delays in the creation of the 3,600 jobs that we were expecting, but we move forward to license the plant. Hopefully, if there is a change in the regulatory environment that will make it more conducive for business, we will immediately can make the decision then to proceed with construction. That's all I have, Mayor, Council, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I would like to once more extend a cordial invitation to all of you to attend a visit or tour of our plant and learn in more detail about our facility. And thank you again for allowing me to be here with you tonight.
Thank you, Ramon. One question, the fossil plant that's out there now, is it in the middle of a rebuild or an overhaul?
No. We have there, and thank you for the question, because a lot of people believe that what we have there is a nuclear power facility only. Well, we don't. We have a power plant with multiple fuels that is extremely efficient and that is able to serve the needs independently of what fuel will be available at one time. We have 2 units that run on oil and natural gas, the older units. And we call those Turkey Point 1 and 2. They are working, they're part of our fleet. We don't use them as much as we used to now that we have a brand new combined cycle natural gas plant, which was built in 2005, which is natural gas, runs on natural gas, and is very efficient. And then we have the 2 nuclear units, units 3 and 4, that are very efficient. They run 90% of the time, and then provide base load in the quantities that we need to serve the needs of our customers.
Thank you. And the roughly the employment that you have out there now. I mean, I like to just put this out for general information to the public. How many people do you employ now?
We have approximately 890 employees at the facility right now, between 800 and 900. And that does not count contractors that we and temporary workers that we employ every 14 months when we refuel our plant, that come here for about a month and a half, and contribute to the economy of our area.
No, it's a big economic engine for our community. That's why I point that out. Each nuke, when you're your paperwork is done, for lack of better words. You're talking roughly 4,000 people per nuke to build it?
Yeah, approximately 3,600 to 4,000 at a peak. Yes.
And
And it's a period of 5 to 7 years that's going to be happening up and down.
I just wanted to put that out for the general public. You're on TV right now, so...
And I also, Mayor, I'll take the opportunity at this time to thank the city, mayor and council for their support that we've always received from you. That's been essential for us to get the initial permits from the county and the PSC to move forward, and we appreciate that very much.
If there's anything else we can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask, because it's a very vital point economically for our community. I mean, those jobs are pretty substantial paying jobs, and the community needs it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next item, presentation by Vice Mayor Wallman.
I know he's not here right now, he's already left, but I just wanted to say it's been my great honor to work with Sky Kennedy for the last 8.5 years, and he will be missed. So, on that note, and I got a little emotional, and he was a little emotional, and then he gets to leave, and I'm still having to follow through, so bear with me. It's my great honor and great privilege to invite Ms. Ruth Campbell and Ms. Eliza Perry, and may I correct myself, Councilwoman Ruth Campbell and Councilwoman Eliza Perry to come forward. My friends, Ms. Ruth and Ms. Eliza. I'll start with Ruth. Ruth served on the Homestead City Council for 24 years. Hello, my darling. Looking good. I'm sorry. Ruth served on the Homestead City Council for 24 years, from 1973 to 1997. There were a few years in between there. She served Homestead at the Old Town Hall Museum for 6 years, and she is currently serving as the chairwoman of the Dade County Historic Board.
Still at the museum?
Yes. Yes, she is. And I'm going to let you talk about that, too. And I don't know where this came from, but I found it on my dice. Did you bring this today? This is so funny. I mean, this is wonderful. Ruth...
that was a badge?
Yes.
At the National League of Cities.
You come up here and tell it.
All right, and a badge that tells you where you're supposed to be going and where you're attending. And I had this as we were a direct member, and we still are a direct member city. I was a member of the Fair Committee, the Finance, Administration, Intergovernmental Relations Committee. It's the hardest one to get on, and somebody just about has to give up for there to be a vacancy. And I also served on the Small City Council. That's with the National League of Cities.
So I think you should wear this myself, but she brought this to show me today. And Miss Perry, I just love this woman so much. She has done so much for our city. She served on the Homestead City Council for 10 years, from 1989 to 2001, and I was one of her biggest supporters. My mother as well. She's a Homestead Business and Professional Woman of the Year of 1987. And she is a nurse. She is a trained nurse. She was in the daily involvement in Hurricane Andrew rebuilding our city as an elected official. And just recently, we were somewhere, and I happened to have on my city shirt, and
Eliza said to me, you know, this sure would be nice if we had a shirt to wear. And I said, you got it. So I'll just hold up Ruth's here. This is Ruth Campbell, says City of Homestead, retired councilwoman, and it gives her dates of service. And Eliza, I have one for you as well, and I hope you wear it proudly.
Yes.
And I'll give you an opportunity to say a few words if you'd like.
I'm very grateful to be here, to see all of you, to hear Scott again. This is a wonderful city. It may be small, but it is so energetic. Thank you for remembering me. Thank you. I have a, yeah.
She asked would I like to say a few words. I'd like to invite all of you, especially next Friday night when we have the big deal downtown with the rodeo. The museum will be open. Come on and see the exhibit and other things. And I'm going to look for all of you. Thanks.
You know, nothing shy about these two women. They are my mentors and they are my role models, but I'm embarrassed to say that the city doesn't have a camera here tonight, and I think this is such a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to have pictures taken for everyone. Do we have one? Sally. I know Sally come through. So I'd like to invite Mayor and Council to come forward if we could move in front over here and take a picture with our two distinguished guests tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd just like to say I had the pleasure of serving with both these ladies in 1995, and Ruth truly was my mentor. Eliza kept me in line, and Ruth took me my first trip to Tallahassee. It is quite a maze, and Ruth says, "All right, get behind me and stay with me." And that woman took off through both sides of the House and the Senate, and it was unbelievable, Ruth. Thank you for all you did for me. Thank you very much.
You hold on tight when you're with these two women. I'd like to now invite the Rodeo Association to come forward. And I want you to notice what color they're wearing. And I want you to notice what color I'm wearing for you tonight. Pink. Are you tough enough to wear pink? Tough Enough to Wear Pink was created by entrepreneur and breast cancer survivor Terry Wheatley to bring the sport of professional rodeo and the Western community together to rally against breast cancer. To date, the campaign has raised $5 million for breast cancer charities, much of which stays right in the community. The grassroots movement has inspired other sports communities to mount their own Tough Enough to Wear Pink campaigns, spreading a message of hope and support that reaches beyond the rodeo arena to competitors, families, fans across America. The Western community shows its heart by wearing pink. And as I would like to say to you, as a breast cancer survivor, it means so much to me. I've seen some of these kids grow up. Your father was my biology teacher, my tennis coach. Really, and I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about this. I mean, as a breast cancer survivor, it means so much to me to have all of you here. And my husband wears this hat very proudly. And I want to say a special thank you to Robert Landon for wearing a pink tie tonight. And I had to look deep in my closet to find the suit, so it's for you. It's all for you. So I would like to read a proclamation into the record for you. Whereas the Homestead Rodeo is the southernmost rodeo in these United States of America and has been bringing together cowboy and cowgirl athletics from across the state and nation for over 60 years. And whereas the Homestead Rodeo Association supports rodeo and the tough American spirit of the sport and is proud to sponsor the Tough Enough to Wear Pink campaign to benefit the Susan G. Komen for the Cure. And whereas the toughest cowboys, cowgirls, specialty acts, volunteers, and attendees will be wearing pink on Friday, January 29, 2010, to raise awareness for breast cancer research, and whereas the success of the Homestead Rodeo and the many accompanying special events, such as the Frontier Days kickoff concert, you've got to go to that, Rioter, Gunfighters, Western Reenactment, Buck Off, excuse me, Family Night line dancing, which you'll hope that I don't go to that, and Little Britches costume contest, which I will be one of the judges. The rodeo parade. I get so excited because I've been a fan of the rodeo since I can ever remember. Black Stallion Literacy Project and the Tough Enough to Wear Pink campaign is a result of hard work and efforts of the Homestead Rodeo Association and its volunteers. Now, therefore, be it resolved that, excuse me, that I, Stephen C. Bateman, Mayor of the City of Homestead, Florida, and the Homestead City Council, do hereby proclaim Friday, January 29, 2010, as Tough Enough to Wear Pink Day in Homestead. In observance thereof, I call upon you, the good people of Homestead and the Miami-Dade County, to join me in helping to make this exciting event a great success. Please show your support of this worthy cause by wearing pink on Friday, January 29, 2010. In witness whereof, I set my hand and caused the great seal of the City of Homestead to be affixed, Mayor Stephen C. Bateman, City of Homestead. So on behalf of the mayor and our council, I'd like to present this to you.
Thank you, Mayor Bateman and the council and City of Homestead for coming out and supporting our Tough Enough to Wear Pink Day. Thank you.
Sally. Where is Sally? Oh, Jason has a camera. See, this is a great community. We just all pull our cameras out. Let's everybody get in here. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
And thank all of you. Harry, you want to say something? You get up here and say something. You've been around here so long. No, why don't you say something about it?
No.
All right.
I've been around too long.
I've never seen him not want to say anything.
Well, I was born and raised here, and I moved away a couple of years ago, and I miss it. And I'll always come back for the rodeo.
Well, come on back.
Homestead will always be my home.
Thank you. Judy, if you don't mind, if we could move to tab 20 now and go ahead and approve the Rodeo Association.
Oh, perfect.
If no one has an objection to that.
Can I stay here?
Just lost my counsel. Oh, that one. Yes. It's tab 20. It's rodeo event and parade request. I'd entertain a motion to move that forward.
I'll second it.
Second, okay. Staff report, waiting staff report.
Mr. Mayor, this is just a routine application for the parade, closure of the streets and the parade.
Okay. For formality, any comments from the public? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Nays? Motion carries. Okay, Judy, you got the floor again.
Okay, do we vote? Oh, I didn't vote, but anyway, aye. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Come to
you.
the rodeo.
We'll be there. We'll be there. And the parade. And all the other functions in between.
Presentation to the Cardinals Baseball Little League Team Championship. I see I'm sitting there patiently waiting.
Thank you, thank you. Anna, where's Anna?
She's right there.
Can you come help me? And there's my Mr. Buster. Okay. Tonight we want to honor the Cardinals. And I'd like to ask them all to come up here and stand beside Miss Anna. And the coaches, please. This team played 16 regular season games and 2 playoff games. The Cardinals, who were the underdogs, beat out the Braves for the championship, a team that only had 3 total losses throughout the season and which had the most number of veteran players. Oh, wait a minute. What is Anna? The 3 total losses throughout the season.
They beat out. The team they beat out
Had the most number of veteran players?
had the most.
Okay, okay. Go ahead.
No, you.
And we want to say a special thank you to the players and to the parents who gave all their time for all their practices as well as the games. It is the first time that a team with 5 rookie players can win this championship. So that is a really, really big deal. And I have some special presents for you. The first one goes to
Yariel Suarez.
And the next one goes to
Romario Reinaldo.
This is Dylan. And he's my biggest fan. And I'm his biggest fan.
Nicole Martinez.
Parents for the girls.
Luis Urquiaga. Thank you. Kenneth Cruz. I don't believe Kenneth is here with us today. Yeah. Isaiah Orellana. Giancarlo Torres. Felix Quiñones. Elijah Martinez.
Here he is.
Dylan San Roman.
Ever since he was little, when he sees me, he'd never call me Judy, Miss Judy, nothing. It's Judy Waldman. Judy Waldman. Okay.
Damian Quintanilla.
And this is a special certificate of appreciation. Congratulations goes to Coach Willie Orellana. Oh, I'm winning the 2009 Fall Championship Adams Division JV Red Park. The City of Homestead recognizes your team and your outstanding achievement. So congrats. We'll be sure to get the assistant coaches a plaque as well, right? Okay, so we'll make sure that the assistant coaches receive one as well, please.
I'll keep it short. I want to thank all the parents. I want to thank Debbie and Louis Zabahal, who run the show over there at JD Red Park. They do a very, very good job. Very extremely competitive league. And I'd especially like to thank the parents for coming and bringing the kids every day to practice and not just coming dropping them off and, hey, coach, I'll be back in an hour. They sit there, they stay there, they watch everything that's going on. And if it ain't for that and the parents showing up and dedicating themselves as much as us and the coaches, my assistant coach Felix and my assistant coach Freddie, if it weren't for that, we wouldn't be here and accepting this award. So I thank you very much, city, and thanks for the little kids working hard and the dedication, and thanks for the city for recognizing that. Thank you very much.
As a parent of a child that played baseball from, I think it was 5 years old until he was a senior in high school, and I warmed those bleachers, and I sat on that cold ground, and I was team mother for about 7 years, and it just kept happening. I can say thank you so much from the bottom of all of our hearts that you put the time and energy, because it's role examples, mentors such as the three of you that will guide the lives of these children, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. They do it for free, Anna said. So if we could get a group shot.
Hey, sir.
And a special thank you to Robert Landon and his staff for keeping those fields in the shape that they Smile. One, you can shout it. 1, 2. No, do it again. Do it. 1, 2, 3. Good one. Thank you. Just a word.
Sure.
Mayor, can you see Dylan?
Name and address for the record, please.
This is name. Say your name.
Dylan Norman.
And your address? That's okay.
I'm joking.
Done with it. Okay, go ahead.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here. Okay, thank you very much, Mayor, for indulging all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the coaches and to the moms and dads that work so hard to get them out there to practice and to accomplish what you've accomplished. Thank you. Next item, G, recycle program. Who's? Okay. Julio, there we are.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to bring you an update as to some upcoming events and that we're going to start out here in the city. Basically, I'm going to start first with the recycling program. This is a program that the city has been planning for some time now. Basically, the idea is to, right now, at this present time, the city...
Let's just give them 1 section. Let them clear. Go ahead.
Okay. Regarding the recycling, the city right now uses a contractor. The city uses a contractor now to provide services of collecting the recycled materials from the residents. What the city is planning to do now is basically take over those services and do them using our own forces. At the present time, we have received the trucks, the recycling trucks that were ordered using the grants that we got from the EPA. And now we're just waiting for the bins to come in. And once they come in, we plan to start a rolling process, basically taking over the services that were being performed by Waste Management. Just to give you a little brief, This is just some information, some history on recycling. Back in the first Earth Day in 1970, there was a competition set up to decide what logo was going to be used for the recycling programs that the United States was going to start promoting. And they came up with the Earth with the three arrows around it. That's been around now for 40 years. It was a competition held nationwide. And a student in the University of Southern California was the one who won the competition. That's just a little tidbit of information. Now, what is recycling? We all know that recycling is basically turning a waste into a raw material, basically, and extending the life of of those products into other products that could come in the future, and thereby saving resources. Now, what is recycling? Recycling, well, it saves energy. It reduces pollution. It saves natural resources by allowing us to reuse products over and over again. It's, of course, an economic benefit in the fact that we're saving money and saving actual production costs that would come using materials only once if we were to do that. And it saves space in the landfills, which is also a big plus with using recycling. Everybody knows the landfill here in South Dade, how it keeps growing and growing and growing, and by recycling, we're basically extending the life of that landfill towards the future. Now, the stages of recycling, there's basically three stages. There's collection and sorting, there's manufacturing, and then selling back to the customer as a new product. What we, the city, are going to be doing, just basically the first step is just collecting. And the idea is to collect it and send it to a sorting facility where the sorting would occur at that place. Some interesting facts, I just throw these out there. One plastic bottle will last in landfill from 100 to 1,000 years if it's not recycled. So it just gives you an idea of how long this waste hangs around after we get rid of it. And just another tidbit of information, one ton of plastic being recycled saves the equivalent of the energy needed by 2 people for a whole year. So again, it just gives you an idea of the resources that are being saved in the process of recycling. Now, this picture here that's in the screen right now, these are the new trucks that we just got. They came in about 2 weeks ago, actually. These are the trucks that are going to be used for the recycling services. The idea is to go to every other week service. And instead of now how we have the bins where the customers have to divide the materials by type, this will be what's called single source, where everything goes, single stream, where everything goes into one can and is sorted at the main plant. The people don't have to sort it. It promotes more contributions by the public, and it makes it easier on them, basically, and that's what we're trying to improve, is to increase the tonnage that we're collecting. Just for an example, last year we collected almost 500 tons of recyclable materials. Last fiscal year. We expect now with this new single stream source to maybe double that in terms of goods being collected. And that just gives you an idea of how much resources we're saving in the process. Now, what's on the screen now, that's what the can will look like. It will basically be identical to the super cans that are being used now for residential pickup. The only thing that we're going to do is the lid is going to be a different color. And it's going to have the imprint of the recycle logo on it, and it's going to have this imprinted into the lid as well, which will give the residents guidance as to what they can put into the can. And it basically covers everything from bottles, glass, plastic, papers, newspapers of all types, books, cardboard, and tin cans, aluminum cans. Everything will go into that one bin. Pretty much anything that's not biodegradable can go in there. And it will be sorted again at the sorting facility where we will transfer the recycled goods to. Now, the one thing, the homework that I'm going to leave you guys is to pick the color of the lid that we want to use for the can. Right now, our cans are green with a green top, so we want to use something that it's, has contrast to the other ones, so the people will know exactly which can to use, whether either using recyclable goods or whether just putting normal trash out there. So we don't have to make a decision now, but just keep that in mind that we're going to have to make a decision on the color of the lids that we're going to need for. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And that basically concludes the presentation on the recyclables service. If you have any questions.
Yes, Councilor Williams.
Yes, I got a few questions for you. What would this cost the city to operate? How many trucks you say we had?
We have 2 trucks, but basically the idea is to use 1 truck at a time to do the pickup. And we're going, right now we have a contract with Waste Management, which basically we don't have control over those costs. They are going up, so they are going to be transferring those costs to us.
How much are the costs? What is the cost?
Well, with this, I don't have the exact number with me in terms of the cost of the recycling program, but it is a savings in the fact that in terms of us paying Waste Management, we can use one of our employees to do these routes, and we won't have to hire any new employees to do it. We have the manpower to do it in-house, and by going every other week, again, we can extend the productivity of the collection as well. But I can give you those numbers if you want.
Okay. May I have another question that's dealing with your department? I've been getting a lot of phone calls about the bulk pickup and garbage, and I've not kind of got an answer yet on what we're going to do about that, because the calls that I get are the calls or the concerns are more so the cost is the same, but the services are decreasing. So how do we justify that with the consumer or our residents to help them to swallow that?
Well, in terms of what we're planning to do is basically go to a bi-weekly pickup instead of every week that we've been doing up till now. There is a savings associated with that. And basically at the time when the budget was set up for this year, we're trying to cut costs as much as possible in terms of operations. Now, keep in mind that the people can still put as much as they want out there, and we'll pick it up. So in terms of volume of pickup itself, we'll still pick up whatever is out there. It's just going to be done on every other week instead of every week. So in terms of volume, we will still be transferring, I'm sure, the same amount of volume that we've been doing in the past.
Right, I understand that. Yeah. But my question is we're decreasing services, and you're saying it's a cost savings. Will the consumers see that in their bill? That's the question I'm getting.
Well, at the time that the budget was set up, it was to remain the same. The costs were to remain the same. Now, just to give you some additional information, if you compare with the county, we right now charge the same thing that the county charges on a yearly basis. Even going to this new system where we will pick up every other week, we will still pick up basically 24 times a year as opposed to the county that only picks up twice a year, and they charge the same thing we charge. And we have to pay the same tipping fees that actually we pay more in terms of tipping fees than county trucks have to pay for their own departments. So when you compare it to what the industry is doing, we're still way below cost-wise if you compare it to the county.
Okay. You didn't answer, but okay.
It is a savings to the city. It is.
So, if I may, Mr. Mayor.
Are you through, Mr. Williams?
No, but go ahead.
No.
If I may pass the gavel.
Maybe I can expand a little more. There will be, budgetarily speaking, from the budget standpoint, there will be a cost reduction in the budget. Now, the intention of the budget as it was approved was to reduce operational costs by going on from the weekly pickup to a bi-weekly, a once-a-month pickup. The cost will still be reduced because instead of going on a monthly basis, we're going on a bi-weekly basis. So you still experience half of the cost reduction that we had anticipated. So to that degree, on the budget, we're still going to experience a cost reduction. Now, the cost to the customer, for, you know, on a unit basis, if you will, it will remain, you know, the same. Correct?
Correct. Okay, that's what my concern.
Yeah.
That's what my concern is. That's why I'm raising the issue.
Williams is saying if you're cutting the service,
You're cutting services, and then you're saying my price of less pickup. Forget about the time. We're going to less services, and then you're remaining the same in price. It just does not make logical sense to a consumer who pays, who looks at their bill. And all I'm asking is that it's hard for persons who are still on fixed incomes to pay the same amount of money every month for less services. And it is a deduction from the city, but it seems as if the city, for lack of a better term, is gouging the people. And so they are, at some point, they're concerned about it. And so I think it has to be addressed in some form or fashion in saying that we're going to pick up the same amount of garbage, but for, you know, twice a month. And we're paying for same thing for 4 times a month, regardless what the cost is versus the county. The county is not picking up our garbage. The city is.
Correct.
So you don't bring a comparison of such when it's not really apples to apples. That's all.
Okay. Point well taken.
Well, I think, I mean, I see the overall tonnage will be the same, because if I don't put it out every week, and I put it out every 2 weeks, I'm still going to put the same amount out. I'm just going to hold the other part in my backyard for a while.
We still have to drive the same route regardless. Exactly.
You do have a savings, and the savings is fuel and 2 trips a month.
Yeah.
And it's a service fee we're charging, not a tax. So I see where he's coming from. We are charging a fee. A fee for 4 trips, you're going to pay this much money. And now we're doing 2 trips. Tonnage is the same, and I know garbage is expensive. I know trash is very expensive to dump. So I would take a hard look at it and see where our savings at. Just report back to us if you would.
We'll take a look at it.
Thank you.
Absolutely, no problems.
Are you also in the trolleys, okay?
Yes. Now I'm going to go into the trolley. Again, just a little history. The city has been for some time looking into providing a trolley type or a bus circulator type of system within the city to basically service the needs of the residents and be a complement to what the county is providing in our area. The best way to do that is to take control of routes within our city that we know that people need to get from point A to point B. And so with that, let me go to the next one here. First, let me just go quickly into the funding that we have for the trolleys. We've gotten 2 EPA grants from the EPA. We've gotten 2 EPA grants for close to $750,000 in terms of for capital goods. This is to purchase the trolleys or to use it for facilities to service the trolleys, etc. What we're planning on doing is basically using these funds to purchase 2 trolleys basically to start the system. And based on the studies that were done when we did the Transportation and Transit Master Plan, start testing some routes within the city to see which routes are more needed by the residents. We also got this last year some stimulus funding of $270,000. Those stimulus funds will be used for bus shelters and again also for operations of this trolley system. Now you may ask why we got the money so long ago and we haven't used it yet. At the time when we got these funds, the city was still paying back half-penny sales tax funds to the county for enhancements to the busway stations, etc. Until we used up all that money, we really couldn't get into using these monies. But the EPA grant, we have plenty of time to use it, so we're in good shape. this map is a little hard to read, but in essence what it shows is, the red is the city boundaries, and what it shows is the county routes, and in light blue is the routes that the city was contemplating on adding with their trolley system. The idea was to complement the bus service that the county provides by stopping at some of the same stops that the county stops now, and taking advantage of the busway as well to make sure that our trolleys stop at the busway stations, again, to provide that continuity of transit between the city and the rest of the county.
During race events throughout the year, I think we need to extend that blue line.
Oh, no, absolutely. These are going to change, These are like first steps. And regarding the special events, since we're going to own the buses and we're going to run them the way we want to, we can decide for special events how we want to use them for, off-site parking, et cetera, and shuttle people back and forth to the race events or whatever other event comes to the city. So definitely that's one of the things that we looked at, and the idea is to use them for those purposes.
Point that out to the public, because it doesn't show it.
It does not show it here. You're correct. Now, I've pretty much gone over a lot of these functions and benefits already, but it's to promote and encourage the use of public transportation. The easier we make it to the public, the more stops we provide, the more services we provide to them, the more apt they'll be to use it. So that's what we want to do. We want to extend the services that the county provides, again, because the county is looking for, for their interest in mind. We want to make sure that we provide for the city residents what they need in terms of local transportation, which may be shorter than what the county is contemplating. Provide connectivity to the busway. We're looking at 4 routes for now. That could change based, again, on ridership and demand for particular routes. And it will definitely benefit the businesses along the busway. The idea is to, again, increase that connectivity with the rest of the county. The idea, people can get on the trolley, go to the busway, hop on the busway, and go to downtown Miami if they so desired. So that's the benefits behind this project. Do you have any questions?
Questions, council? Questions from the public? Sure. They'll state the name. Sure, go ahead.
Well, I got a quick question before you leave, Mayor.
We know who you are, but make sure that the public knows who you are.
Hi, Yvonne Knowles, Homestead Main Street. I was just questioning what the fee would be for the public to ride on this trolley.
Well, the idea is for it to be subsidized by the half-penny sales tax. That's how most cities are doing it now. Again, once we start, we'll see what the operation expenses are and take a look at it, but the idea is to keep it complimentary.
Okay. Mr. Maldonado.
Yes, I just had a question in reference to, you had mentioned the busways that has benches that were, I guess, already put into place. Is there going to be an increase? I guess I'm putting this out there because I've actually been driving through the city lately, and as I see the bus routes, I've seen a lot of our residents kind of just sitting on the floor. So since you kind of touched a point on benches and stuff like that, is there any update that you have in reference to that, or is that something that you're going to be adding to?
No, absolutely. We're working on that as well. I didn't include that in these slides, but we're working with a contractor right now in terms of getting a proposal for bus shelter installation, and again, the idea is for them to service them, clean them up, similar to what other cities are doing. And the idea is to use some of the stimulus funding for that as well.
Thank you.
Councilman Shelley.
What's the time frame? What are we looking at as far as from today versus when we're planning on starting to purchase these trolleys and move this thing forward?
Good question. Right now, we're in the exploratory phase with contractors that would run the buses. The idea is to, once we come into contact with them, which I don't expect to take longer than the end of March, beginning of April, is to use lease buses while the ones that we purchase are being manufactured. Once those come in, then we'll just switch out and continue with the ones that are ours.
All right, thank you.
So we're going to go from outsourcing it to actually hiring an employee to drive ours?
No, we'll stay outsourcing. The idea is we'll own the buses, but the contract will be for whatever, contractor we select to service and operate
Our buses.
Exactly, our buses.
Trying to clarify. Thank you. Any questions from council?
Yeah,
Yes, Mr.
just thinking, I guess you will bring back another report. Well, what would be the liability of such? If we're owning the buses and we're not using our personnel, then what liability does that place the city?
Well, just looking at what other cities have done, they've gone to this type of arrangement as well. And the idea is that you place all that burden on the contractor that's running your operations. They have to provide ample insurance, liability insurance, etc., to cover this type of operations. And there is a set precedent for that.
So then, in order to defray the cost, you're saying that the half penny tax will do that.
That's the idea, is to use.
What will be the cost a year then to operate this?
Well, the cost a year, right now, we're looking at around $250,000 to $300,000 a year. That's what we're looking at. We, from the half penny sales tax, we get approximately $1 million a year, of which we're mandated, we have to use a minimum of 25% of that for transit operations. So, we're basically going to try to stay using that amount. If we have to go over, we can. We can use up to 100% of our PTP funds for transit purpose if we chose to. But the idea is to try to stay with the breakdown the way the ordinance calls for it.
So what, and this is my last question, what model of city are we utilizing to form?
We're looking at several. We're looking at Doral, we're looking at Coral Gables. Those are the two big ones that now have a very good product out there. Hialeah and Hialeah Gardens also have a pretty good program as well. So we're looking at basically all of those, and we expect to pick the best plan that fits our city.
Thank you.
I think before we close on this subject, I'll ask the manager, how did this work in Doral?
It was a success, a complete success. We initiated the project with one trolley. It was we took a practice ride, and the reception was exceptional. Initially, we had two different routes. One in the morning that tied our parks and/or schools with residential areas. At lunchtime, that route was changed to tie office, commercial areas to restaurants and such. And the ridership was incredible, especially on the school residential area connections.
Did you find during your special events like the Doral Open, did you find them very helpful?
It was a beautiful image thing to have in the city. If you promote the city, and people like it a lot during, especially during big events such as the resort's golf tournaments and such. We cooperated with the resort to bring people back and forth from parking areas, shuttle them, to the resort, and we also worked extra time during 4th of July and during parades and such. So it was a great success. My understanding is that we now came up to 3 trolleys. So, and it was free of charge as well. So these companies we're looking into are very professional in their maintenance and the running the operation of it, and they're also very flexible. They want to stay in business, and they mean business. So my experience was very, very good.
So it's typical for the cities to buy the trolley, but yet outsource the maintenance and operation.
In the case of Doral, we did not purchase the trolley. We leased it from them, We're going to do a cost-benefit analysis over this to see what is the best option. But if in our case, it's a little easier because we have a fleet department that can take care of our equipment, and we can save some considerable dollars there. Otherwise, if we didn't have that, I would definitely go with the leasing option. But my anticipation is that we will have considerable savings just because of that.
Okay, we'll look into the actual employee versus the outsourcing, all right?
Will do, sir.
Just tell us the difference. Thank you.
Also, keep in mind that the EPA grants are tied to capital improvements, so they could only be used for the purchase of equipment. They can't be used for operations. So if we decide not to purchase the trolleys, we have to find another use for those funds and go back to EPA and basically try to have them change it.
Purchase quickly.
Yeah.
Any other questions at all from the audience, from council?
Just wanted to say, I know that I have a few clients out in the Gables, and I frequent it pretty often, and I know that I see that trolley system constantly full of people within the Gables, and so it makes the city look good when you see this trolley coming through. It gives it a sense of nostalgic and something's going on. So I'm glad to see that that we're in the process of acquiring these trolleys.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And we expect to learn from their, all their trial and error that they did to get to this point.
Sure.
I'm sure we can reach out to them, and if anything, and offer any assistance in reference to this.
Before you close, do you have a guesstimation of when the first one could be operational?
The actual, we'll start with the leasing from them, so we can start that right away.
Those are a bus. Those are not a trolley, right? It's a bus that we lease with.
They have different models. We'll take as close as possible to a trolley that we can.
Mr. Mayor, I told him March. Yes. So we're on a very
March.
aggressive schedule.
I like that.
And hopefully, what I would hope for is to have at least our first sample trolley, the real trolley, by March, at least at the end of March. So I know it's a very aggressive proposition, but we'll work diligently on it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving back to the agenda, item 6. Yes. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. It's not on the agenda. We have a very, very special presentation, and we'd like to ask Sheila Shedd to come to the podium, please. It was a hit. It wasn't written. It was called.
I'm gonna go first. I don't have mine either, but I can hold it far away. I received a really, really sad phone call about a week and a half ago, and Sheila, our dear beloved Sheila, she told us that she was so excited when she was talking to me, and I was begging her not to talk to me, and I didn't want to put a damper on her enthusiasm, but she has decided to go to Arizona to be in business, a family business with her husband, and so she will be leaving us. And I asked the mayor if we could do something special for her tonight, because she's leaving us real soon. So I'd like to turn it over to the mayor now, but before I do, I'm sorry, I remember the day that I sat in my office and I interviewed her, and she was in Doral. She was coming from Doral, and she'd been in Florida City, right? And then went to Doral, and I thought to myself when she applied for a job as city clerk, how lucky are we? I just wanted to hurry up and end the interview so that we could just get it to council. And Marcy was with me that day, and Marlene, and we knew that she was the one, and she is going to be missed so much. Her smiling, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful smile will be missed in the city.
Ditto, I have to say, as a resident, short time now on the council, there was not a time that I did not go to the city clerk's office for something that Sheila didn't greet you with the biggest smile. And always she went to the extent to do whatever she could do for you. Always call you back, always follow up. She is going to be missed. And Sheila, I know you're going to bigger and better things. You know, God closes one door, opens the next one. And this is on behalf of the mayor and council. Let's see here. No. For your untiring dedication and service to the city council, the citizens of Homestead, January 2010, mayor and council, city of Homestead. Sheila, for you.
Thank you so much.
You surprised her.
I'm usually the one that knows the surprises before everybody. But I just want to thank you so much for this. It's been a true honor and pleasure serving Homestead. We've made so many friends, and I just can't thank you enough for the opportunity to serve. Everyone's been so helpful, and everyone, I mean, the directors and the council and the manager, I mean, we've always worked together, and we just, you know, everyone always says, you know, Sheila, you run a great city clerk's office, and it's not me, it's all of us working together, it's a team, and I really believe in that, and I just thank you so much for this opportunity. I'll miss you all. I promise to keep in touch, and I'll let you know how everything goes over there, and thank you again. God bless you.
Could we ask council to come down and let's take a picture, a group picture?
I want you to have a picture of us.
Okay. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Item 6, consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll move it, Mayor.
Second, Mayor?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Item carries. Item 7, public hearings. Richard?
Please be advised that the following items on the agenda are quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment on any of these items, please indicate the item number you'd like to address when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on each item will be made after the applicant and staff have made their presentations. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish to either be cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the applicant may request the council to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. The full agenda package on each item is hereby entered into the record. Persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the clerk. In accordance with Section 2591, any lobbyist must register before addressing the council on any of the following items. At this time, council members must disclose any ex parte communications concerning items on the agenda. At this time, the clerk will swear any persons who wish to testify in any quasi-judicial item.
Please stand and raise your right hand. I state your name.
hereby swear or affirm that the information I present shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
James?
Yes, tab 15 is a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting the request of John D. Stevens for a 12-month extension to a previously approved site plan for a commercial retail development consisting of 14,727 square foot pharmacy with drive-through, a 3,495 square foot bank with a drive-through, and an 8,450 square foot retail building on approximately 2.99 acres of land located on the southeast corner of 162nd Avenue, Farm Life School Road, and southwest 328th Street, North Canal Drive, as legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date. Entertain a motion to move it forward.
May I move to approve the extension?
Second.
As this is just a normal 12-month extension, I'll be happy to second the motion.
Thank you. At this time, staff report.
In addition to what was covered by our city attorneys on, the basics on the application, it's really the second extension. The first extension was approved on August of 2009. This will bring him up to, will be valid through April 21st of 2011. This is just a ministerial action on your part pursuant to code.
Is the applicant here, and would he or she like to say something? Okay. Questions from the council? Questions from the public in support? Questions from the public in opposition? I'll close the public hearing. Any final comments from council? Roll call vote. Madam Clerk?
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Waldman? Yes. Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to tab 16. Tab 16 is a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting the request of San Remo Homes at Homestead LLC for a 12-month extension to a previously approved site plan for 30 single-family residential units located east of Southwest 162nd Avenue, north of Southwest 320th Street, and northwest of the Homestead extension of the Florida Turnpike, as legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date. Motion to move.
I'll move the Tropical Villas extension.
Thank you.
I'll second
Second. Thank you. Staff report.
Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, like the one before, this is a second one-year extension pursuant to code. The application came before council before, and it was extended, so they're just seeking the second extension. Staff is recommending approval.
Thank you. Questions from council? I'll open the public hearing at this time. Questions from the public in support of the application? Any questions from the public? Hearing no questions from the public, I'll close the public hearing. Final comments from council? Roll call vote. Madam Clerk?
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Waldman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That concludes your quasi-judicial matters. Moving on to your legislative matters, tab 7.
Excuse me, James, we inserted on item 7C dealing with the gold settlement here.
That's right, 7C.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, approving a settlement agreement between the City of Homestead and James Gold, authorizing execution of the agreement, providing for implementation of the agreement, and an effective date.
I'll move it, Mayor.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Questions from council?
Mayor?
Can we roll call vote, or? You got a
Mayor, I do
I'm
have
sorry.
a comment,
I
yes.
didn't see, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Voice kind of low, I'm still congested. But I'd just like to state for the record, I did have several comments, but I did meet with the acting city manager this morning, and one of my concerns was or one of my clarifications that I wanted was the pension benefit item, and you were very clear in resolving that it's something that he is entitled to, regardless of what action took place, and so therefore that's where the amount is drawn from pension that he, excuse me, has already established as part of his plan, so thank you.
Correct.
to vote on this one.
Okay,
Doesn't need a roll call.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Motion carries.
Thank you. James?
Yes, moving on to your legislative matters. Tab 17 is the first reading of an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the City Code of Ordinances by amending Chapter 28 Utilities to create Division 4 Landscape Irrigation to provide for implementation of the water conservation rules for landscape irrigation of the South Florida Water Management District, providing for enforcement, providing for penalties, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date. This is first reading. Motion to move?
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Second, and staff report?
Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, this is a requirement per the consent agreement that came before you just recently. And in order to receive the water allocation permitted through its water use permit, the city is required to provide reasonable assurances to ensure that the withdrawals from the aquifer will be consistent with the Everglades minimum flows and levels. So therefore, this is just a step that we're taking to comply with the guidelines of the agreement. So,
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Questions from council? Comments from the public? Final comments from council? Roll call vote.
it's really just a water conservation measure.
Yes, I spoke with them.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Vice Mayor Waldman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Tab 18. Tab 18 is an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending ordinance number 2009-0924, providing for amendment of Community Redevelopment Agency budget for the fiscal year, which commenced on October 1, 2009, in order to decrease both the revenue and expense budget for the CRA by $236,300, providing for severability, providing for adoption as an emergency ordinance, and providing for an effective date. This is first reading. Entertain a motion.
I move it.
Thank you. Second.
Second, Mayor, with comment.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Go ahead, staff report. Want to hear that first?
Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, this is just a correction that was made subsequent to the submittal of the CRA budget. The Dade County approved the millage rate, and what this is in essence doing is making the adjustments on our numbers so that we coincide with the right amounts on our budget. So there were some reductions in costs reflected there on the memo dated January 19, 2010. This will be submitted to the county subsequent to your final approval.
Vice Mayor Waldman.
No, I just want to say thank you so much for finally giving us the full budget that we can vote on. And I know this budget was finished before we voted, and I think it was the end of September, and I'm so impressed with it, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any comments from the public? Final comments from council. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Waldman?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 19.
An ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the City Code of Ordinances by amending Chapter 2 Administration, Article 2 Boards, Committees, Commissions, Division 1 generally, by amending Section 268 Membership Composition to provide for citizen application for appointment to boards, and further providing that the term of office for board members shall run concurrent with the mayor's term of office. Repealing Division 3.5 Education Committee, reestablishing Division 3.5 Education Committee in order to provide consistent structure and operating procedure with other city boards, providing for the expiration of the term of current board members, providing for removal of repealed provisions from the city code, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for conflicts and an effective date.
Motion to move forward.
I'll move it, Mayor.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Second. Staff report.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just take a second and sort of explain what this ordinance does. The way that we have our board structured is that we have a overall umbrella ordinance that provides procedures for all of our boards. And then there's some exceptions to that ordinance that are provided under each specific board. One example would be the Mayor's Youth Council has a larger number of members than the 7. So this ordinance does 3 things to that general ordinance, so this would apply to all boards. First, it makes the application procedure clear that people can submit applications to the council, who can provide nominations to the mayor, but also if someone doesn't know a council member and they just want to apply directly to the mayor, they can do that. The second thing it does is it makes the terms of office concurrent with the term of the mayor that initiated the appointment. The third thing it does for all boards is basically have the term of all board members expire 30 days after the effective date of this ordinance, so that this council would have the ability to appoint all board members. Nothing to prevent reappointing the existing board members, but it would give you a chance to look at them fresh. With respect to only the Education Committee, it does one thing, which is it reduces the membership at the request of the chair from 15 members down to 7. So that's what this ordinance does. It's on first reading.
Question from council.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Regarding the Education Committee, since it's going from 15 to 7, what is the membership status? Are there, do we have full membership? Are there 15 members, and are we going to now be reducing immediately to 7, and what does that mean? Like, how are we going to transition from that number?
Under this ordinance, because the term of all board members expires 30 days after the term of this ordinance is effective, whoever's on the Education Committee now, 7 of those people would be eligible for reappointment, or new members could be appointed.
And I think the best person to answer that for you, if you don't mind, would be the Education Chair. This is something he feels is more manageable.
Speaking with staff and trying to focus or narrow down our attention to the Education Committee here in Homestead, I just want to ask whatever the existing board members to please reapply for the positions. I know this is a procedure that we're going through, but this does not mean that the board members that were on board would, they'd have full rights to reapply, and I would actually look forward to that. I know they've established a lot within the past Education Committee and work with that. And I'll have some more information when it's time for us to speak more on that.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Ms. Shell.
I have some concerns on subpart 6. As I understand it, that applies, the portion that says that each member will serve a 2-year term or until the appointing mayor leaves office. That applies to all boards, correct? Correct. So upon a change of the mayor, whenever that may occur, then all boards essentially are wiped clean and we have to start over, correct?
Yeah, except that there's also a provision that says that board members hold office until their successors are reappointed.
Right.
So that it's not as if on the day of the election we have no boards.
Right.
They would serve until the mayor gets comfortable and start bringing forward new amendments. But yes.
Okay. But one of my concerns though is that I really I like the continuity as it kind of sits now, and that as you have a transition from one mayor to the next, or you have a transition from one council to the next as you go through, that instead of just having everyone always wiped clear, you have a transitionary period, and it's kind of like the Supreme Court justice being appointed. I mean, as that person comes due, they get to a point, so the transition of that board changes. So as the city progresses in one direction, then the board may progress with it, and it keeps you from swinging from one side to another as far as your composition. So I'm not real comfortable with that. I think I kind of like it the way it is now, where as you're appointed every 2 years, it comes up, and then it's at the current mayor, and with the ratification of the council, to then approve that new board member or not, either one way or another. So I have concerns about it, and I don't know that I can support it as it stands on that, on number 6 only.
Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Williams.
If I'm reading the ordinance right, council members can only suggest appointments. Am I right? So it's at whoever's mayor's discretion to appoint certain persons to different boards as the mayor see fit. Is that how I'm understanding it?
Board members are appointed by the board subject to ratification by the council. So ultimately, the council has the decision as to who serves on the boards. But the mayor does the either appointment or nomination, however you want to call it, but that comes to the council for approval.
Okay, thank you.
Any further comments from council? Okay. Any comments from the public? Okay, no further comments. I'm sorry. Yes, please go ahead.
Yvonne Knowles, and Chair of the Historic Preservation Board. This is the first time I've heard of this, so I'm a little surprised. I want to be really clear that in support of what Councilman Shelley was saying, there are projects that are ongoing with certain boards, and the Historic Preservation Board is one where our members are working on certain projects. If we are to be disbanded in 30 days after this vote is taken, does that mean we just cease and desist all work, or do we reapply for membership, or what happens exactly to our board and the work we're doing?
Well, that same board could be reappointed exactly as it is.
I didn't understand that. That's what I was looking for clarification.
It could be reappointed exactly as it stands. It just makes it very uncomfortable for any new mayor that comes in to be dealing with a board they have no idea who the people are.
Right.
And I think it's a very important thing. It should be tied to that seat, regardless of whether it's me or anyone else.
I concur completely. I just wanted to be sure that that was an option open to the board members to reapply.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Any further questions from the audience? Well, hearing no further questions, a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
No.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Waldman?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay. Item 20?
Yes, we took care of that earlier.
We did 20, that's right. So moving to business from the city manager. Update, any kind of...
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, I just wanted to alert you that today we initiated the Washington Street Improvement Project. The project is expected to have a lifespan of less than 3 months. We'll try to keep it under 3 months. And it involves, it's from Maui to 2nd Street. It involves landscaping, curb and gutter, storm drainage, paving. There is a plaza that's being done there. And again, it's 3 months or less. In case anyone asks, that's actually it was initiated today. Correct? I have one more item, but I think Councilman Maldonado, if I don't know if...
Mayor, I guess if this is something I was going to say. I had with the disaster relief effort that we've done here in Homestead, I had a business owner within the community that by the name of Lavon Hernandez, I believe, owns a karate school, and they had wanted me to ask the staff if it would be possible for them to hold a fundraiser at the parking lot of the bowling alley. When I spoke to Levon, basically his goal was, he's not here today, and just wanted to bring it forward, and I mentioned it to the acting city manager. Their goal basically is to put a fundraiser for, I couldn't recall the name that he put on it, but it was making kicks for Haiti, something like that, and basically they would collect a penny or something for every kick that the members would go through. And I guess if once we talk to them, we'll get a little bit more information on how it works. But just the main point here is what would be the liability, would it be possible for them to use, what's the procedure basically, to use that parking lot, because it's city-owned, so...
It's city-owned property. What I would do is I would treat it to a degree, considering the gravity of the situation, as a special event sort of thing, where I would look at the liability involved. I will go through that with the applicant just to make sure that the city is safe in that regard. And if you, with your permission, I will move forward in that direction and see how we can work together.
He mentioned that he had all the insurance that would cover this event. I think he spoke with his insurance company, and they kind of said, like I said, I just wanted to put it out there in reference for the disaster relief efforts. I know a lot of people in the community wants to step up and try to help out, and this is their effort, so I kind of support it. So.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Would they feel more comfortable at City Hall site than they would?
It's kind of right across the street from where he's at right now, and I don't think, I guess, you could speak to him about it. I think maybe that's just what he thought of first.
Would you rather,
being that it was
me to propose that the City Hall parking lot as an option?
You could. Okay. Thank you. Anything else? Yeah.
No, that was it. That's the only other request that we received, but because of the timing issue, we had no choice but to bring it up tonight, at least to get your general.
Well, let me
ask
this: Does any council member have objections to researching the liability and the feasibility? And okay. Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Manager?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Maldonado. Talk about the fundraiser, the big one that you raised us a lot.
Before we go into that, thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to touch some points on some of the committees that I've been appointed. Want to talk about the Education Committee. Now, I met last week on the 14th with Lisa Martinez, which is Director of Intergovernmental Affairs and Grants Administration, and Valentina Bell, which she's the Superintendent of Region 5, and we basically spoke about the education compact between Miami-Dade County Public Schools and the City of Florida City. So, and basically once we get this Education Committee put together, again, we will go right to work and working with Dade County Public Schools and meeting these efforts with the compact. Secondly, I want to discuss, I also have the Business Development Committee, and I kind of want to make an invitation. And to take a step back with Education Committee, please, anyone who's interested in being on the Education Committee, please submit their applications. And going over to the Business Development Committee, I would like to also ask the community to send in applications to be a part of this. This committee would be focused on the local businesses and basically want to help stimulate the local economy of Homestead. We'll make all efforts to bring resources and help out our community with the local businesses. It was one of the promises that and something that I championed during my campaign. I wanted to make sure that as a business owner here in Homestead, I understand some of the issues and the conflicts and the challenges that we face, and I would like to, that's why I took this board, and also would like the community to please get involved, and let's make a difference here. Let's help out the communities. It's a tough time with the recession, but we've lost a lot of folks here. So again, I just want to put that out there for the record. And then I just spoke about the Laval Hernandez. And what the mayor mentioned was basically with the tragedy that happened in Haiti, we all, as council members and staff, everyone just, and the world as a whole jumped in to show support for Haiti. We have a large Haitian community here, and we wanted to make sure that we helped them out in any way possible. And as we were having a meeting, which I'm sure the mayor will talk about, with Captain Bo, we took charge in setting up what they call a highway holdup, and basically a collection, which we did on US 1 and Camel Drive. And I just want to let everyone know and thank everyone, first of all, Captain Bo and all the staff that volunteered their time and made this effort happen. We collected a total of $12,176.06 on that Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that money would go to the relief efforts of Haiti. So I just want to thank, again, the staff that came out there and all the citizens of Homestead. I kind of blasted through email, and I think we saw the community as a whole just putting those 5s, 20s in there and really giving for this effort. So thank you, Homestead, for supporting and the Haitian relief effort here in Homestead.
Thank you, Councilman.
Mayor.
Maldonado, outstanding job.
Mayor, if I can.
Yes, Mr. Ray.
Councilman Maldonado, let me thank you because that is a tremendous effort to do $12,000 from this community that in that time span, the time that you put it together. So my hat's off to you in such a time span. So kudos to you for leading that effort. That $12,000 may not mean a lot to us, but it means a lot to the people in Haiti. So I know that they're grateful for your excellent leadership that you have shown.
Thank you, and I'll just thank... It's a team effort again. I want to thank, as I get that gratitude, I want to just extend that gratitude to everyone who came out. Even Julio was out there helping out. We sent out an email, and last minute everyone just popped out. So I, again, appreciate everyone who stepped up. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
And that's it. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Shelley.
I just have one thing. It was kind of discussed briefly earlier when Mr. Julio Brea was giving his presentation. But one of the things that I know was a concern with my community when I got elected was this bulk trash pickup. And everyone was concerned that it was being reduced to once a month when it used to be every week. And so it was something I did speak with the acting city manager about. He did work diligently on that. He has told me that going forward it will be every other week. It'll be bi-weekly instead of the once a month. So that's at least a small victory going forward. And it appears from comments by the council tonight that there's even a push to maybe get even additional if we can go back to the once a week or something similar. But at least at this point in time, we will have it bi-weekly instead of just once a month, which I know is a concern not only in my neighborhood but also out east. Another thing that the acting city manager mentioned, which he can correct me if I'm wrong, is that there'll also be labels being affixed to the current garbage cans that will have the phone number so that if it's not one of the weeks that the trash, and you have a big bulk of trash that gets created, you can call that number, they'll show up, they'll pick it up. So even if it's not your bi-weekly trash week, you can call and they'll come pick it up as well. So that way we're working for it to kind of calm the fears that everyone had about that. And that's my only item. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Wallman.
Thank you, Mayor. For the last week, I've been working with the volunteers in the Haitian emergency hotline. They were set up right here in this very room. It was heartbreaking. The phones were ringing so much that they even had me answering the telephones, and I certainly don't speak Creole. Elvis was there with me answering for a while as well, but the last phone call that I took was a lady who, she was looking for literally like 12, wasn't it about 12 members of her family, and it was just heartbreaking. And the volunteers that are here that have now been moved over to the baseball dorms at the baseball stadium, not one of them did not have a loved one that was missing as well. So it was, and I plan on being there tomorrow to help, and as many days as it takes to find everyone that we can. I want to thank Capri and the Big Cheese and Diaz supermarkets because they've been helping me feed these volunteers every day. Tomorrow I have a very nice lady in the community who is from Haiti who is cooking for the volunteers, and I'm trying to arrange for food for every single day because they don't eat. I mean, they don't leave to eat. They're there working. So if there are any businesses out there that maybe would like to provide lunch for the volunteers, I would appreciate it very, very much. It's greatly appreciated for them as well. Just last night, a friend of mine's niece, who my friend lives here in the city limits of Homestead, but her niece is from Kentucky, and she's been in a 2-year process to adopt a little boy from Haiti. He's 2 years old now, and he was flown here last night, and they were reunited, and he was checked out at the hospital. His stomach was all messed up because he didn't have any food to eat in the orphanage, and they were sleeping in the back of a truck and everything else. But miracles do happen, and that little boy left this morning at Fort Lauderdale Airport to go home to start a new life with his new family. Now, let me get on with other business. At a recent with the last Cal meeting, we announced that we would be losing Sheila, and I've instructed with the vote of the council of the Cal meeting, we've instructed HR to go out on a search for a new city clerk and also for an internal auditor. And of course, we encourage Sherry to. What happened to Sherry? But we encourage Sherry to apply for the job as well. But I just felt it was my recommendation that we go out on a search on this particular item. So, Mayor, I'm going to ask for a motion through you to make Sherry our acting city clerk, because we do need one. So.
Sure. I'm more than happy to. I don't need to relinquish the chair to make the motion, do I, Richard?
No.
Okay. Motion to move Sherry Ader to the acting city clerk.
I move it, Mayor.
I'll second.
Motion moved by Mr. Williams, seconded by Mr. Shelley. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'll just try to make this very, very brief. There's so many things going on in the city. I am in the process of planning a concert at the baseball stadium. Surprise, Robert, I haven't told you that.
Rock and roll.
It could be rock and roll. I have some contacts, a friend that has contacts with Emilio Estefan and Gloria Estefan, and so we're trying to get some big headliners and just pack that baseball stadium, and that would be all going towards the Haitian relief. So we got to do it again, Robert. And I would also like to announce that the Hearts and Souls event is going to happen again. It's their second annual Hearts and Souls Walk Run, and that's going to be Saturday, February 6th. And all proceeds from this event go directly back into the community. The Homestead PD, Project SOS, and the South Bay Weed and Seed, they assist families in our community that have been exposed to family violence, and the funds collected help to relocate domestic violence victims. So please come out. If you're interested in signing up, we do have information on our city website, or just call the city and we'll direct you over to SOS and we'll get you signed up. Last year we had a pretty big group, and I hope that we can do that as well again. I'd also like to remind everybody to save the date for Relay for Life. That's May 15th. I've just been so busy I haven't been able to get as involved as I need to, but I am going to, and I spoke to Christy Rivas-Thompson today, and she's chairing the event. As of this day, we only have 13 teams signed up, and that's really sad, because we, as a cancer survivor, I'm telling you, we need to keep it in the forefront. Even though we have other things happening all around us on a daily basis, we must always remember that cancer kills so many people in this world, and research has to go on. So please save the date. I would encourage all city departments to have a team. We used to do it, and we had a blast, and it's not going to be an all-nighter. It's going to start at 12 at noon and go to 3 in the morning, but you don't have to stay till 3 in the morning. But we'll certainly make arrangements to make everything happen. If anybody out there is interested in putting a team in, then please get in touch with me or with Christy or just with the city, and they'll guide you. I want to say a special thank you to the committee members responsible for the Martin Luther King breakfast. I started to say Pastor Williams, but I should say Councilman Pastor Williams. I want to thank you very much for heading that up and spearheading the program. It was just absolutely, if you get I hope we get to put it on the city station, because when you see it and you hear Mr. Beatty speak, it was just absolutely inspiring. And I'd also I'm sure Mr. Williams will say this as well, but thank my friends at the Palace Garden for donating the breakfast for the event. And I could go on and on. We've been so busy, but I won't. I just want to say that thank you very much for everybody coming out. Mr. Maldonado, I think what you did was absolutely immeasurable. And Mayor Bateman, your work with Mayor Wallace, I just can't say enough. You just stepped up to the plate, and I'm sure you'll talk about it, but I really just want to say congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For your hard work. Councilman Williams.
Thank you so much, Mayor. We've done so much over the last month since we've last convened. But let me do it this way. Let me thank the good people of the city of Homestead, especially our city staff who helped to make the Martin Luther King breakfast a success. Marlene and Carrie did a Hercules of a job in putting it together, and I think that I failed to mention them at the breakfast, but I figured that this will play over and over, so they'll get quite enough play on TV. So, but my hat's off, and it could not have been done without such extraordinary leadership through those two young ladies. And then to the Vice Mayor for helping to facilitate the breakfast. I mean, we didn't have a dime on how we were going to make this breakfast work. When the board was kind of sunsetted, that's the Human Relation Board, which had a $5,000 budget that went towards this event. When I took office, I took the project on, and let me tell you, it was a success, and it could not have been done without the extraordinary leadership of this council. And so I'm eternally grateful for such a success. I mean, you couldn't even get any of a chair in there. It was packed. And it was well attended. I'm still getting very good comments about the speaker, Mr. Beatty, and we've even made the newspaper. So get out and get the monitor, and it's in the monitor. And so hopefully that the breakfast can be played on our TV station. And many of those persons who gave to the breakfast for its existence, I'm gratefully thankful, and you should be getting a note from me of our appreciation for you. Thank you so very much, Mayor. The other issue is, Mayor, to your leadership that you wanted to see, at the end of this month, we will have our finances online for our first quarter, and it will be the budget and the cost analysis, or it's not so much cost analysis, but actual budget to what we actually have spent. And so, Mayor, I know you wanted to see that, and so that would take place January 31st for those persons who want to see true transparency in what we're doing in government. And so, Mayor, with Jan's leadership, that will happen. And so that's all I have for right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Yes, that's important to show the public the finances quarterly, so we can not surprise them in the fourth quarter. Again, a yeoman's job on the breakfast. The breakfast was outstanding. I'm going to guess 350, 400 people. It was an outstanding job by the staff of City of Homestead. You know, my hat's off to you. Thank you very much. It was a very busy weekend. A week ago today is when Haiti received that terrible earthquake, killing thousands and thousands of people. Wednesday morning, we hit the ground running. Mayor Wallace came down to Homestead City Hall here at 9:30 in the morning. We called a special meeting by 10:30. We probably had 45, 50 local community leaders, Haitian leaders, staff, and we sat down at that manager's conference table and we brainstormed. We quickly brainstormed of what we could do for the Haitian citizens of our community and, of course, the Haitians of Haiti. Some great ideas came out. We received a interview from Fox News right while the meeting was going on. So I have to say, by 1 o'clock, when our EOC was set up here in this council chambers, the phones and computers were set up. By 1:30, we were receiving calls from California, Texas, all around the United States. Outstanding. The help, the volunteers poured in here. 15, 20 people taking calls. So we did that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, having a meeting for an hour and a half to 2 hours each day, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And with the meeting being tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the city manager's conference room, we'll have another meeting which will talk about the phone bank that's been moved to the minor league clubhouse. And for the record, for the
viewing audience today that that address is 1601 Southeast 28th Avenue, Homestead, Florida. 1601 Southeast 28th Avenue. The phones will be set up, not only taking incoming calls, but we'll be taking outgoing calls to Haiti. AT&T has offered 21 phones to be set up free of charge. Free of charge. So for those individuals who are unable to reach loved ones in Haiti, or unable to make a phone call, we're offering this phone system free of charge at the minor league clubhouse. The foundation was set up using Florida City's foundation because they had a 501c3 tax deductible foundation already set up, so we used the mayor's Florida City's foundation. It's called Florida City Foundation, simple as that. 404 West Palm Drive, Florida City, Florida, 33034. If you wish to make a donation, you can mail that there. The check should read Florida City Foundation. To date, out of those 2 meetings, 3 meetings came, not only the $12,000 that Mr. Maldonado spearheaded the highway holdup, but we had Redland Construction bring a $2,000 donation. We had Wayne Rosen bring a $5,000 donation, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. But each and every day, we do the best we can. We're going to stick with four main goals, and that is the phones, the fundraiser, the dry goods, which is out here in the parking lot at City Hall, 790 Homestead Boulevard. You can drop off dry goods, any kind of type of canned goods or dry goods that we can put in our city truck, which also Redland Construction donated 5 warehouses to use as a drop-off point. So we can sort these items, pallet them, wrap them, and get them picked up by, I believe it's Seaboard Coastlines, is willing to ship those for free. So we did a yeoman's job, all of us, everybody pitched in. Robert, his whole team, everyone did a great job to fulfill, you know, it may sound like only 4 items, they're 4 very important items. And again, my hat's off to you. I thank you very much for the hard work done, and it's not going to go without, I'm sure, a lot of people in Haiti thanking you over and over again for it. I'd also quickly like to thank the power plant for offering that 6.6% rate reduction. Is that correct? I'm saying that right? It was $3.25 per 1,000 kilowatt. Do you want to touch bases at all on that?
Yes, the rate goes in on January's bills. It actually reflects the usage that was used in December. And if fuel prices remain stable, we have plans to possibly make another $3 or $4 reduction right before the summer peak season.
Thank you very much. I just want to put that on for the record because everybody seems to, constantly get on the rate of our power plant, and now we're offering a reduction of 6.6%. I apologize. I didn't mean to skip over you, Ms. Lobos. The floor is yours.
I was sitting here thinking, how can the mayor forget me? But I know what it is. I was so quiet today that you forgot that I was down here, so note to self, be louder next time.
Squeaky wheel gets oil.
I am. Thank you. I would like to, I have 3 items here, and the first, actually I have 4 items. The first item is that I want to apologize to the city and the residents. I've missed on a lot of things this past week. I was trying to make a lot of events but could not, been under the weather again, and I just hate to miss any events, and I know that I want to enjoy what the city is doing, and so, but I did finally start dragging myself out Saturday night, and I attended the Homestead Community Concerts, and what a phenomenal concert it was. They had the most successful yet in their concert series, so congratulations to them. And then I do want to bring up some city business. This morning I did meet with the acting city manager, and I was able to discuss the agenda with him, and I would like to thank him for making time. I know that it takes a significant portion of your day to sit down with any council member, and so I want to thank you for that. We were able to discuss the agenda and in detail, just kind of answer a lot of the questions, and that's partly the reason probably why I was so quiet today, because I did have a lot of questions, but Mr. Perinos was able to discuss that with me ahead of time.
Which brings me to my next point. One of the items that we did approve today under tab 1 was the approval of the minutes that happened on November 23rd. And in that meeting, the council voted to suspend the city manager with pay until February 2nd. February 2nd is right around the corner. During the last meeting, I know one of the councilmen, Shelley, made a motion that we would authorize the attorney to enter into some kind of settlement, a discussion with the city manager, Mark Shahada. And so my question to you, Mayor, tonight is, February 2nd is quickly approaching. May I have a status, perhaps, of what meetings are coming up so that we can discuss the action that is going to take place next? I know that the next council meeting, excuse me, the next COW or the next council meeting won't happen until after February 2nd, so I'm a little bit concerned that the deadline is fast approaching, and I have not heard yet of any public meetings that are set to discuss the issues that are going to need to be discussed prior to that deadline that we set on November 23rd. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to defer to Richard Weiss, please.
I think there's sort of two questions there. The first one is dealing with the settlement, which we were authorized to pursue. The attorney for Mr. Shahada did get back to us and has asked us whether the city was willing to hold what he called an informal settlement conference with us. And based upon your direction, unless I have other direction, I would pursue that based upon his request. With respect to the second part, as you know, we're pursuing the work that you asked us to do in terms of the fact-finding that you asked us. We are planning on having that done next week. So it would be appropriate at that time for you to, appropriate at this time or upon special call of the mayor to schedule a meeting or to, in order to sort of receive that report and to decide sort of how do you want to proceed with Mr. Shahada. You could do that at either at a special meeting, a special call meeting, or a regular meeting, depending upon the time frame that you want to pursue.
Okay, let us confirm with us your completion date. So based on that, I don't have a problem with looking at the calendar tonight. And if you would prefer us to wait until we have a chance to check with...
Since you have the ability to call a special call meeting, I will, I know that we have given our investigator a specific date. I believe he's supposed to get a preliminary report to us by the 22nd.
Okay.
And then we had hoped to get a report to the council next, but you and I can talk about that, and then you can decide whether you want to set a special meeting or if you want to pursue that.
Okay, thank you. Does that answer your question? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Richard. All right, could I have a motion to adjourn? Yes. Any further?
If I may, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, when you asked me, I apologize. I have one item that you had asked me at the previous council meeting to bring before you, and I did send you a preliminary email advising you that the item is already on our website. This pertains to a development review handbook that was developed to answer questions, frequently asked questions that pertain to development process, whether it's residential or commercial, whether it's a preliminary plat or a final plat, whether it's a comp plan amendment or a variance. It answers a number of different questions that applicants may have. It explains what the process is, so that if anyone would approach the city, they would know that very same moment what type of application they're going for, how long it's going to take them, how much it's going to be, and the estimated date of completion, so that they'll have all that information right there. It's all online under the Development Services Department. It also outlines the fees. It's a very user-friendly document that can be used, for any kind of application. Whether it also outlines the building permit process as well. So it's a very handy tool. I've used it before with a lot of, good reception from the contractors and the architects and the property owners that want to do, from the addition of a shed to the backyard to, an addition or a new home. So it answers all kinds of questions, and it's proving to be a good tool. So I just wanted to alert you that's online now, available, and for everyone to know as well.
No, thank you. That's a document that's long overdue, because there have been many people coming here and say, but that's not what I was told. Many people come in here and say, I got this bill 18 months later. So if we've got a true outline on the internet, that's a big step.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Did you want to bring up the item on the board that we had discussed with the Human Relations Board?
I'm sorry, Human Relations Board. The Human Relations Board is been a kind of a touchy topic, with the whole rebel flag issue and everything else, and that's all been put to rest. And in the last week, I've had the opportunity to share the same room with Otis Wallace, the mayor of Florida City, here in our council chambers. He's expressed to me the desire to go back to a community Human Relations Board, or a community board, 2 cities, 1 community. So I don't have a problem with that. I think that it works. We're talking still a 7-member board, 3 by the mayor of Florida City, 3 by the mayor of Homestead. We decide together on 1. What's the pleasure of the council? Does council have any opinion on this? If not, I'll move forward.
Mayor, I do have a question for you.
Yes, please, go ahead.
In moving forward, are we then going to get a proposal as to how the board is going to be made up? I know one of the questions that we had prior is 2 cities is good, 1 community is good, but we also would like for both cities to contribute financially. That way it's not an issue of it belonging to Homestead, it belonging to Florida City. You know that you take ownership by however the finances are set up, so that if both cities equally contribute to it, it would genuinely be both cities.
That's a good point. I don't think there's a problem with that. I think the mayor of Wallace is more than willing to pay his part of the expense. I'll discuss that with him. Okay? Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, with that, we'll move forward, Richard, with that.
We'll do that.
1 more. Board. Okay. Anything else before we call it? Okay. Motion to move? Second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you.